Hi, I'm Darold Niwa, the Agronomic Specialist for UFA. We're here in Arrowwood, Alberta today at Noranden Farms, and we're going to talk about silage. Silage is really the preservation of a forage through acidification. We can make silage from any forage we choose. Today we're going to talk specifically about corn. The beauty of silage is that we can put a large volume of feed very quickly into cheap storage, usually in a silage pit. When we do that, we can preserve the nutritive value of that crop and that feed right there and keep that for a long period of time. Today we're going to talk specifically about corn. One of the benefits of corn is that it has a high nutritive value for cattle feed. There are two things that we need to remember when we're making silage. There's a phase where it's aerobic, meaning there's the presence of oxygen, and then we move to an anaerobic stage. The aerobic stage is where the forage has water-soluble carbohydrates, basically the sugar. With the presence of oxygen, the microbes in that forage will burn that up and they'll create carbon dioxide and heat. Obviously, we don't want heat destroying the nutritive value of our feed in a silage pit. So the quicker we remove the oxygen, the better we preserve the nutritive value of our feed. When the oxygen is all removed, we move from an aerobic condition to an anaerobic condition. So we want to keep the aerobic side of that silage pit to as short a period of time as we can. To shorten that period of time, we usually cut silage very short, and we then pack it. So we pack it down in the silage pit to remove as much of the oxygen as we can. So when we shorten that up and we get to a condition called an anaerobic condition, that's when we can start the fermentation and really the preservation of the silage. When we remove that oxygen, the lactobacillus is the microbe that really makes the benefit of the lactic acid, and that is really the preservative for silage. The lack of oxygen benefits those lactobacillus, and they multiply inside the silage pit. The faster that we can get the microbes, the lactobacillus, to create fermentation in the silage pit, the better we preserve the nutritive value of the feed. We don't want to put up forages in a wet condition. Wet forages actually favor the undesirable microbes, the clostridial microorganisms, that will do detrimental effects on our silage pit. So wet silage is not preferred. We want to have silage, in the case of corn, at exactly 65% moisture. When we put silage up at 65% moisture, that's really that sweet spot, the critical stage for us to really ensile corn and retain that nutritive value for a long period of time.
My name is Matthew Jacobson with Noranden Farms Limited of Arrowwood, Alberta. Myself and my wife and children run a cattle and grain mixed farm. This is the first year that we've tried growing corn for cattle on our farm. We're looking at trying to increase our production of livestock, and by doing that we need to find a source of feed. And it's difficult to take more land out of production to grow more alfalfa and grass mix, so our corn is our plan to increase our forage production on fewer acres and maintain our livestock and increase our livestock herd.
Contact your UFA customer account manager for more information on producing silage corn.